Hey YouTube, just want to do a quick demo video or a little comparison video on the 14-inch Ego chainsaw versus the 18-inch Ego chainsaw. The 18-inch chainsaw was, I believe, brand new last fall. And a couple difference, and I think pretty sure the 14-inch and the 16-inch are the same. It's just the bar size and the battery that are different on them. But the 14-inch is the lowest price saw that Ego has, and the 18-inch is the highest price saw that Ego has. But the 18-inch is quite a little bit different. We'll start off with the top, with the chain brake. Subtle difference, but it works like an on-off switch. So you notice that is on. So the saw will not do anything. But if you pull it back, the saw works. Now, the difference here is that one's red to let you know that the chain brake is on the chainsaw. So that's helpful because sometimes you don't realize it when you're using the saw if it's working or not. So, because it's not like you hear the saw wind up like it's struggling like you would on a normal chainsaw. It's just on or off with that chain brake. So that's one difference. Another one I'll point out, you'll notice this one has plastic ridges on the 14-inch and 16-inch saw that are to help you dig it in, where the 18-inch has ridges, but it's also got the metal bucking spikes, which I like a little bit better if you're maybe cutting some light firewood. And I'll also point out that the 18-inch chainsaw has the LED light on it as well. Now let's go around to the side. We'll look at the chain tightening mechanism. Ego is a toolless chain tightening and loosening mechanism, so you don't have to worry about carrying around that silly tool or losing it or not having it if you have to tighten up the chain. So you'll notice here has like a pinwheel, I call it, you know, to loosen and tighten the chain. And then this comes off if you want to access where the sprocket is or clean under there. Now you'll notice the 18-inch is a little bit different. That's just got one tool for tightening and loosening. It doesn't have the pinwheel sprocket. And then if you crank that off, it kind of sounds more like a gas cap. Hear it clicking in there, tightening and loosening in it. Alrighty, let's come around to the side. Now, the 18-inch comes standard with a T battery, which has the little indicator. I apologize, I don't have a T battery in it, but there is a 5.0 battery in it, and it comes with the 5.0 T battery. So that's really helpful. The 14-inch is going to come with a 2.0 amp hour battery, and a 16-inch is going to come with a 5.0 battery, but it's probably just going to have, you know, the regular green indicator. It's not going to probably have a T battery in it. I also noticed too, if we flip the saws on the side, you know, the caps are a little bit different. That one's a little bit bigger. Some people complain that this cap's a little bit harder to get off. All right. Now this is on the 14-inch. And you also have a screen in there. Now the screen pops out. See how it pops right out? And I recommend popping it out if you're going to put oil in it because it's pretty slow filling with the oil. Now, the 18-inch has a little bit bigger cap. You can grab that. And it doesn't have a screen, a little bit bigger fill neck on it. So I like that. Both kind of have a similar translucent gauge to see what your oil level is. This one's a little bit slimmer on the 14-inch. I believe they're both Oregon chain and bars. Pretty reasonable. I mean, they're a lighter duty bar, but you can cut whatever you need to around the house, I'm sure. Now, another big difference I'll talk about with the two different chainsaws is this one goes 13 meters per second, the chain speed. The new 18-inch is going to go 20 meters per second on the chain. So you got a lot faster spin up. And I'm going to try and see if I can rev it up for you here. So hear that one, and we'll go to this one. little bit slower. So those are some of the really key differences I've noticed just from using. I find that the 14-inch leaks a little more bar oil than the 18-inch chainsaw for whatever reason, how they have the oil are adjusted. But the triggers are the same. You just have a thumb trigger here, and then you squeeze. You know, some saws you're used to maybe having a top handle, but it's just a thumb. And you squeeze it. You also got your switch here for your handy dandy LED light. I don't know if you're doing any cutting at night maybe, or doing a little brushing. You know, my opinion of the electric saws, I really enjoy them for around the house stuff, especially if you're doing, you know, a lot of limbing or brush work. It's really handy just to be able to stop and go and not have to walk with that saw running all the time. I find it's a lot safer use of a saw. So I don't want to keep you guys any longer, but I haven't really seen a lot of side-to-side comparison videos, because these are probably the two saws you're going to be debating against. Maybe the 16-inch with the 5.0 battery. But you're like, oh, is the 18-inch worth the extra $50? And in my opinion, it is if you're looking for a little bit bigger saw, and I'm sure you can put a smaller bar on it if you want to. So, but it comes standard with the 18-inch bar. And you also get, one fell on the ground there, but you also get an Ego bar guard for each saw as well. So, all right, if anybody has any questions, leave it in the comments. But you can check us out at Garden Pro Tools, and I'll see if I can maybe do some footage cutting with them later on. So have a great day.